I think that we're really raised to believe that our sexual energy, if you're a spiritual-minded person, or your libido, if you're more of a scientific mind, is something that it's like a wild animal that you have to control. And we do all these things and we do all these exercises and practices to try to keep our sexual urges and our sexual energy and our, like I said, libido under control. And in so doing, especially if you're a guy, I don't know if it's the way that we're raised or what it is, but somehow we have this belief by the time we reach adulthood that our sexual energy as a man is something that's really dangerous. And if we don't think about it and control it and really harness it the way that we want to, it's going to run crazy and it's going to get out of control, and we're going to go around the street fucking women and raping women in parking lots. And if you're a woman, it's very similar. I mean, you have there's an idea that your sexual nature, your sexual impulses, your sexual energy is something that is very shameful and something that you can't expose. Or if you're somebody who's raised in a religious background, it's very similar. We have this idea that our sexual energy is something to be ashamed about. So what we do is we go through these practices to try to control that sexual energy, to try to control our sexual urges. Like, we'll wake up and say, okay, well, when I go out, I can't show the girl that I'm sexually attracted to her. I have to keep it under control. So we think and we say, okay, I have to, or if we masturbate a lot and we want to control our masturbation because we want to control the flow of our sexual energy, what it is, we say, okay, I have to go through these practices where I'm not masturbating for a while, so that way I can then direct my sexual energy the way that I want to. It's like we control it like it's a wild animal, and once we've controlled the wild animal, then we can tame it, then we have to beat it into submission. You can't beat your sexual impulses, you can't beat your libido into submission any more than you can beat your need for food, your appetite for food into submission, any more than you can beat your desire for fresh air and desire for wanting to go out and feel nature, any more than you can beat that into submission. All of this stuff is a part of us. Every single one of these things, our need for food, our need for air, our need for sex, it's a part of us, and each one of those things is not a wild animal. We are the animal. We are the wild animal. The question's not how do we control ourselves, how do we tame ourselves, how do we beat ourselves down, but it's which direction do we want to walk in? Which direction do we want to go in? Because if we can control ourselves, if we can direct ourselves, that is to say, not control, more like direct, if we can be aware of the direction that we want to go in, we walk confidently in that direction and everything else is going to follow behind us. Yeah. When you connect everything together, when you connect your need for entertainment, you connect your need to walk around the street, you connect your need to go out and talk to somebody in a platonic way, you connect that with your need to engage in sexual intercourse with somebody, you connect that with your need for whatever, you see a hot girl over there and you balls go and you just want to, right? Realize that all of that's a part of you. You don't have to go stop it, balls, or like I'm gonna bottle it down and then I'm gonna direct it this way. Yeah. It is what you are. Yeah. And you yourself are the entire organism. You yourself are the entire thing. So that having the awareness to say, my entire being wants to go in this direction. Not I only have to do this with my sexual energy. It's the same thing with saying I want to start eating healthy or something. Yeah. Not I need to stop eating carbs, but the rest of my life is going to be completely the same. You do everything together. You get a whole perspective of the direction that you want your life to move into, and you say, where do I want to go? What direction do I want to walk in today as me, as who I am? Mm-hmm. And you walk in that direction. That's the animal. And you can't resist what simply is. It is. It is, so you can't resist it. Yeah, so the more you resist it, right? Yeah. So when we resist it, or we say, okay, I'm able. You think you're able to control these things. We can't control these things any more than we can control our thoughts. Yeah. You can't sit there and control your thoughts. No. It's simply your thoughts are what they are.
The more you try to control your thoughts, the more like you can't control them.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact same thing. Like if I say, don't think of a purple elephant right now. Or whatever, I don't know. Yeah. It's realizing that you are more than your thoughts. You are more than your impulses, and you are more than your desires. That is all of you, and you are much more than that. If we say, God, I really I haven't had sex in a really long time, or I have so little sexual experience, and because of that I can't control it, so when I go out and I try to meet women, I just have all this repressed sexual energy, and I have to hold back from expressing myself. But that's the typical way that a lot of us go about our day, or we go on a date and say, okay, I have to show that I'm a gentleman, I have to show that I'm nice, I have to show that I just don't want to stick my dick in her pussy. All these things. Women have the same thing, right? They say, okay, I don't want to be too eager about this. I don't want to jump in for sex on the first date because then if it is something good, it might fizzle out, or he might not want anything else. So I want to take it step by step, and I want to take it slowly and slowly. So we have all these efforts to try to reel these things back in, to try to pull.
Very true.
To pull these desires back in.
Yeah, we're civilized people.
Exactly. Think bigger than that. Think beyond that. When you get up that day, think, who am I, and what do I want to do today? What's the kind of man that I want to be? What's the kind of woman that I want to be? Yeah. Including my sexual desires, including how I want to eat, including how I want to talk to people, how I expect people to talk to me. Mm-hmm. And you get a picture for that, and you do that. And that's how you move through your day. And all of that other stuff is going to follow. All that other stuff about, oh, I can't be too sexual. That's not even going to be a consideration. That's going to come out naturally the way it should come out, which is to say, don't block it, don't be ashamed of it, but simply let it out. Simply don't force it to come out.
Yeah.
It's always the problem of trying to force ourselves in. That's kind of like a nice guy syndrome.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, please leave a message and join the discussion. You can check out the Facebook page for the latest news, or click on the orange button and get the absolutely free newsletter. Talk to you guys soon.